Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm doing my first time ever coloring in with markers, me using marker pens, and I'm using a Brazilian brand which is called Cis, and I'm actually very excited to show you guys a little bit more about how I used it and how I learned from my first time experience using them. I got into markers because I've been watching so many videos like Paifa's art and I'm a Wonder, and I really enjoyed how they literally show like different mediums, especially markers. I'm also kind of getting into gouache, which is something really weird for me, but I'm actually trying out this whole new thing where I show a bit of the process. What is my English right now? Anyway, well, I showed a little bit of the process of me simply going about and like doing the outline in red, which I literally saw when I was doing research for markers, that it actually kind of does like a really pretty outline. It actually makes it more, well, I found that it made it like it made the illustration, the drawing, just pop up a bit more, so I actually enjoyed that part. Even if I did put like a little bit of a darker outline, it actually looked really nice. One thing that kind of got me really weird out was when I started coloring in. I noticed that I didn't clean the brush tip. Like right now, I didn't clean the brush tip, and there was still a bit of a darker color that I had used while I was watching to see how I was going to layer the markers, which is kind of weird because I normally have a sense of what I am going to like color in. I think it's mostly because I've been doing digital and I started also doing a lot of traditional media like coloring and colored pencils, so I kind of got the feel of the colors that I want to use, and like I kind of have like the sense of, okay, this color is going to match with this one, so this is really cool. And when I saw that, I kind of got a bit upset, but eventually I do end up fixing it, so it does actually end up looking good at the end, so I'm actually pretty okay with this. And I found that like with most traditional media that I like to use, especially colored pencils, that it's actually something very relaxing and I enjoy a lot. But I still need to learn so much more with using literally markers. It was extremely fun to do this, especially when I started getting the feel of it. After a while, I started kind of like noticing what I was doing. I am using marker paper. I'm using Canson marker paper, and this was actually really good because I loved the fact that I could layer this so much and it wouldn't transfer to the other page. And for like, I really got, but the one part that like really got me surprised was when I started adding in the colored pencils, and then I simply noticed that like I could still have more layers. Like the colored pencils, it was simply like I had started coloring in automatically with the colored pencils, and there was still so much layer on the paper to be used up, and I really enjoyed this. And I actually thought that I actually did well for someone who had no experience whatsoever with markers, and this is a completely new medium for me. I'm also trying something new, If you guys like this style that I presented, which is a little bit showing the process like normally and then a little sped up, because I did take a few hours, even though this is really small. I still did take a few hours to do this, especially since it was my first time. Sorry guys. But tell me down below if you guys enjoyed how I actually edited this video. I would really appreciate it. But either way, I did have some trouble with the layering because, well, it's my first time doing this, so I did really have a problem with the layering at first, like I said before, mostly because I thought that I messed up because I didn't realize that I needed to wait for like the ink to dry so I could see how it would look, and I just kept layering it, and the illustration did get a bit darker due to the fact that I layered it that much. But after this drawing, I did realize that the next one I did was actually, it kind of started flowing in perfectly. Like, I'm not a master at it yet. I still have a lot of things I still need to learn, a lot of techniques I want to learn and discover, and I know that there are a lot of other artists out there who will definitely teach me. I will definitely find them. I know they're there somewhere, and I actually enjoy that very much with the learning. I did get a bit sad because I kind of made her a bit too dark, like her face got a bit too dark, but either way I actually enjoyed this very much. Like, the texture of the paper was really good. The markers are really good. Like, what I didn't like mostly about these markers is definitely the skin tones. They're not that okay, because I bought 36 colors and I received another 6 skin tone colors from my friend because she had like way too many like markers, and she already had bought like the Copic skin tones and she wasn't going to use these ones, so she gave them to me. Thank you very much. And also, when I started seeing like the actual skin range, I didn't really like it that much. I thought it was, I don't know, it was a bit too saturated, and it didn't look the way that I thought it would look. It was kind of, I don't know if it was a bit too saturated. I think that was what got on my nerves. It was a little bit too saturated, but you know, you need to be happy with what you have, and I'm actually learning to use them in the proper way. So I like in other arts I actually got the hang of it, so I actually can't wait to show you guys the other arts as well that I have done. I'm not going to lie, but I did get a bit sad because one of my favorite parts of any drawing I do, rather traditionally or digitally, is when I do the hair. And if you guys have been seeing me this far, you guys know how much I love doing the hair, and I did end up fixing my little mistakes, and which is the fact that I actually wanted it to be this light color that it was before, but I noticed that I made some parts a bit too dark, and when it came to her bangs, I kind of messed them up as well with the markers. So that was one thing I kind of ended up learning not to do with my first try. It was very sad for me, 100% very sad for me. but I did kind of I ended up fixing it later. But as I was doing this, I was kind of like, why am I doing this? This is so wrong. This doesn't look good. And in the back of my mind, I was just like, no, we can fix this. Stop touching it. Like, just stop touching it. And we can fix this. We can definitely fix this hair. And I thought it was going to be 100% ruined because of that entire thing, and I just like kept placing and like swatching like on a piece of paper to see if I could make it better, and then I just took the markers and I just kept like using the markers over and over again, like changing the sides. And these markers are really hard to open, so I had like, there was a part of my hand that actually got a bit of paint because that's how much it was a bit hard to open these markers. And it was just, it wasn't a nightmare, it was mostly, it was fun to do something new and to have that excitement of, oh my god, what am I doing? And always in the back of your mind going with, trust the process, we can do this. Literally the mantra is like, we are one with the drawing. So like, we're one with the drawing, we can do this, everything will be 100% okay. Guys, I don't really know what else to say like right now. The only things I can say is that these markers are actually really good. The only thing I didn't really like about it was mostly the skin tone colors. I thought they were a bit too saturated. I don't know, they were just, I don't know, they had a weird feeling to them. I'm actually seeing how I can buy other markers that I've also been eyeing, like Ohuhu and Arteza and Artex as well. I almost said a Portuguese word along with my, what is English right now? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will leave you guys with the rest of this time lapse where I am doing the colored pencils for the finishing touches, where I fixed almost everything. I couldn't really 100% fix the shirt, but I fixed most of the things I wanted to. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next week for one more video. Bye guys, have a great day.